I'm a big fan of detective games, the point-and-click adventure games, mystery games, and everything in between. Ace Attorney, Professor Layton, and Ghost Trick are all series I deeply love for different reasons. They got the music, the characters, and writing that backs them all up. They're iconic games for a reason, but there's one series that should be sitting right next to them at the top. Touch Detective is a point-and-click adventure series I got into this year after all 3 games re-released on the Nintendo Switch as a collection. I saw the art and it immediately caught my eye. I had to check it out, but when I did, the collection hadn't been released yet. So fast forward to April 2024, I'm back home from school and have all the time in the world to get through the entire series on my Switch. I have a lot of thoughts and opinions on Touch Detective, so I'm gonna go game by game talking about all the highs, the lows, and everything in between. So do the YouTube things. I'm not gonna say it out loud, but I think you know what I'm talking about. And let's investigate. The first installment in the Touch Detective series came out in 2006 on the Nintendo DS. If you put 2 and 2 together, Touch Detective makes use of the Nintendo DS's stylus and touchscreen, which is perfect for a point-and-click adventure game, but admittedly, I didn't play this on my DS, I played it on my Switch, and it was kind of annoying to control. For a bit, I was using my analog sticks to move around, and I hated how that felt, it was awful, but then I learned you could just tap the screen with your finger, and that was way better, but I feel like playing this series on the DS is a must, probably the way to go. Getting into the actual game, in the English localization, you play as Mackenzie, her town's local detective, but not just any detective, a touch detective. Her butler Cromwell serves her tea and makes useful gadgets for her during her investigations and cases. There's her friendship squad made up of Penelope, a bubbly airhead, and Chloe, a headstrong girl who doesn't understand the concept of consequences. In the first game, Chloe acts as Mackenzie's rival for a little bit, but the only person who thinks that is Chloe. I can't forget about Funghi, this little guy. Oh, Funghi. Everybody loves Funghi. Come on, guys. Look, it's Funghi. Mackenzie's pet assistant, who is the most popular character of the whole series, to the point where people in Japan don't know he's from a video game. Like, isn't that kind of crazy? I showed my aunt, who's from Japan, Touch Detective, and she immediately recognized Funghi, but had no idea what Touch Detective even was. So Funghi's a star. He's an idol. There's a lot of cute merchandise of him, actually, and plenty of iOS games. Anyways, in the first game there's 4 cases to get through: robbery, disappearance, stranded, and assault. When it comes to talking about the cases, I'm not gonna dive in depth on every single one, so for now I'm gonna highlight the first case, robbery. Penelope thinks that her dreams are being stolen, so it's up to us, Mackenzie, to catch the thief. During cases, you get to explore different parts of the map that gradually get added after every case. I love the shopping plaza, easily my favorite spot on the whole map. A lot of shit goes down here, but through my first playthrough, I loved how cute and creative the shops were, especially for its time. Like, people today would die to live here, like, I know for a fact. I love the pastry shop, Sweet Mountain, the House of Illusions, where Katrina, the fortune teller, lives. No, not that one. And the clothing boutique, Naked Bones, very alternative. It's full of super frilly Lolita-like clothes, despite the name, but that's where we see Daisy, the resident goth girl, who hates Penelope, but Penelope just wants to be friends. Unfortunately, Daisy's really not a huge part of the game. She's really only in the first game, which is sad because she's a great character, but she does appear in the third game. Other spots include a park with an ice rink, the condominium where Penelope lives, and a bunch of other fun characters like Beatrice, the weird bird lady. There's a planetarium, and the office Mackenzie lives in. Okay, continuing with the case, you need to snoop around, find items here and there, figure out if you can put them together. Maybe Cromwell tells you the items he needs and you gotta get them for him, I don't know, maybe. A lot of the fun comes from talking to the weird townspeople, and trust me, they get even better in later games. In this case, when you visit the bakery, the baker is selling amazing sweet dream cakes the town loves, but it turns out she's been stealing Penelope's dreams to make her sweet dream cakes, which in turn makes Penelope really sleepy. In the end, the cakes become a limited time only item since they settled on the baker stealing her dreams once a week. As a side note, I really love the design of Antoinette, the baker. Her hair is so cute. It just looks like there's like a little, like the little flick in her hair makes it look like a little candle, and like her head, it's a little cake. It's so cute. It's like Marie Antoinette hair, I guess. I don't know, but I like her design. So that's my quick gloss over what actually happens in the case, because going in depth isn't my plan, but I have one big problem, well, several problems actually, with this first game. It's kind of like Curious Village in that while I appreciate that first game existing and setting up everything, the balance between puzzles and story just isn't right, and a lot of the puzzles repeat each other. I also don't like the kinds of puzzles they put in that game. They feel very grandpa to me, if that makes any sense. But this is not a Professor Layton video, so I need to stop talking about it. So with Touch Detective, not that it relates to Professor Layton at all, there's no puzzles. The cases are split in 2 parts. But once you finish the first one, it pauses abruptly to say, you finished part 1, move to part 2, or something like that. It also happens again when you finish the case. And I really hated this whenever this happened. It breaks the flow of the game so hard and reminds me that I'm playing a video game, but thankfully this doesn't happen in the sequels. Another thing is the timing of the music. When I played it, the music would always abruptly end instead of fading in and out. So it just felt awkward, like it would just kind of start randomly and then end, and it just felt weird. Generally the game is fine, but to be fair, maybe these are just like Switch collection problem release stuff. I don't know if any of this happens in the first game, but when I played it, these things bothered me, but these are all kind of like technical stuff. It has nothing really to do with the actual game itself. But other than that, Touch Detective definitely shows promise with its world and kooky characters, but it just doesn't feel completely right. It's definitely got humor, its own unique weirdness, and incredible art style. It's the whole reason I wanted to check out the series in the first place. Mackenzie, Chloe, and Penelope already make a strong trio. Their interactions are easily a highlight of the game. I also love Cromwell, he's great, and Beatrice, the condominium lady, is weird. But not everything completely lands, and it can just feel weird and confusing figuring out what you're even supposed to do, or maybe that's just me. But nonetheless, this game is a good start. By the end of the game, after Mackenzie has successfully completed all of her cases, she's recognized by the Great Detective Society as a touch detective. But this is a jump scare to Mackenzie. Why is that? Because of her touch list! She accidentally sent them her touch list, you guys! She didn't want to do that! Oh no! I should have mentioned the touch list earlier, but basically, when you touch certain things in the game, Mackenzie adds them to her touch list, where they have their own descriptions and ratings. It's cute to look through, and it's fun trying to touch everything. It makes you want to, like, explore every crevice, just like finding hint coins, and when you look in the garbage and something is in it. Woohoo! So that's Touch Detective 1. It generally got a mixed reception, which I kind of agree with and understand. Like, I really wanted to enjoy it going into it, and I did, but I don't love it. You know, I don't love it. I like it, but I don't love it. But it's definitely still worthy of being checked out. I recommend everyone go check it out. But all this stuff, you know, it just can't be said about what's to come next in the series. Touch Detective 2.5 is my favorite in the entire series. It has that diabolical box effect. Immediately when it started, it felt like a massive improvement from the last game. The game has really good structure, continuity, characters that truly come into their own, new characters that are absolute icons, and 5 cases, count it, 5 cases that are so good. Unlike the first game that takes an episodic approach, I love the added setups and payoffs they planned out. I actually want to talk about the cases this time because unlike the first game, this one has an overarching story and finale. There's some continuity in the first game, but there's continuity in this one. The sequel introduces a villain to the series, taking form as the Cornstalker! Get up for the Cornstalker, you guys! Yes! I love the Cornstalker. He's just a funny corn man you run into every case, because he's causing trouble! One thing about the Cornstalker is he's always going to send a warning letter about his plans, because he's just so considerate. To combat this, Redhead Inspector Daria joins the game as the Cornstalker's rival, and tries to catch him, but always fails because she keeps breaking her fucking back. Her poses are too much to handle. The Cornstalker and Daria provide even more entertainment as a great duo, just like our iconic trio that's back and better than ever. So getting into our cases, we have robbery, sound familiar? Deception, deliverance, recollection, and invasion. Robbery is a fun case all about a noodle festival hosted by the new town mayor and how Penelope's colored noodles have been stolen. Now she only has white noodles. Actually, everyone has white noodles now, so where'd the color go? This case also introduces Yvonne, a noodle shoot designer and owner of Naked Bones, the clothing boutique. I like her noodle hair and outfit. In the end, it turns out evil forces are trying to destroy the town for a secret treasure, and for some reason, they need white noodles to do that. Mayor Tom's been acting pretty suspicious though, and it turns out it's the Cornstalker! Give it up for the Cornstalker! We foil his plans, for now, and he manages to escape, for now. Deception is a train case. Oh my god, guys, this game really is like Diabolical Box. We have a train investigation after Mackenzie got a train ticket from Mayor Tom in the last case. On your train trip, there's a fancy artifact that someone has, but it's been stolen. So it's up to us to track it down. Yes, the Cornstalker stole it, but this random nerd is also evil and we have to deal with his bullshit. I love this case because I love a good train level. In Deliverance, Mackenzie's on a field trip with friends to a museum after this fluffy orange guy Harrison discovered new fossils. But someone has vandalized a statue and other stuff happens. Honestly, this was probably my least favorite case, but that doesn't mean it's bad. But it also just means I don't have much to say. Recollection has us going into a haunted mansion, and the Diabolical Box similarities are, they're appearing quite often at this point. This time, Penelope thinks she has seen a murder. Now shit's going down. I loved the tonal shift at the beginning of this case, because there's been a lot of robberies and we need different crimes. We get to see this beautiful garden and greenhouse, plus the cool haunted mansion. So, no one actually dies in this case. It turns out the quote-unquote dead person is actually a sleeping doll we need to awaken. Once you wake up the doll, it says its name is Silver and is looking for a girl. Legend says he's a talented singer, but he's kind of out of whack from sleeping so long, so his singing sucks. Also, he needs the girl to sing good. Now, there is this ghost girl in the mansion, and she is in fact the girl Silver's looking for, so we must reunite them. The Cornstalker briefly shows up to try and steal Silver, but his singing is still ass, so he gives up. Eventually, we reunite them though, and there's a cute ending. The last case, Invasion, is quite the case. We get to visit a mall after Penelope and Chloe found a raffle ticket for beef. So first and foremost, we need to find more, and then we can chill at the mall. There's an exhibition going on for a cool artifact that we can't see yet, but it turns out the Cornstalker has stolen it. Oh my god, you guys! We give chase, and he hides out in this pink elephant structure, which then takes us to outer space by aliens, and we need to escape the precinct. These aliens want to get rid of all the cows, for some reason. But Mackenzie manages to get a bomb from Cromwell and destroys everything, so the cows are safe across the planet Earth, and the aliens are gone. Explaining all of these cases on the surface doesn't do them justice. Like, you just gotta play them, you guys, because talking about them like this feels weird. But anyways, the cases feel so much better than the first game because of the setups, the payoffs, the humor's even better, the characters are so fun, the story is entertaining, and the pacing is great. I haven't even mentioned every character in the game yet, like the mysterious milkman, Connor, who may or may not be the cornstalker, but nonetheless is such a babe, and Mackenzie knows it. There's Ace and Friday, the mouse. There's a lot of cool guys here. I like these environments a lot more than the first game. The music finally fades in and out, and we don't have to deal with this chapter is over, move to part 2. You don't even need to play the first game to get this one, honestly. There's an option at the beginning that asks if you played Touch Detective or not, so I'm gonna say that this game got the Evil Dead 2 approach, where it's like a reboot of the original, except I don't think that's actually true, but let's just say it is in this case, if that's any way for me to talk about Evil Dead 2. All in all, this sequel is why I think Touch Detective should stand with the rest. Anyone who's played Ghost Trick, Professor Layton, and Ace Attorney would definitely enjoy, so of course, it's gotta stand with the greats. Give it its flowers, you guys, please! Up next, we have the third and final installment in this Touch Detective trilogy, but is it even better than this amazing sequel? Or is it worse? Touch Detective 3 released in 2014 for the 3DS, but only in Japan. Yay! 10 years later, in 2024, people can finally play this game, but on their Switch. Mackenzie's back, but this time, not only does she have to face off against the Cornstalker, she has a new detective rival, Shiro, but in the localization, it's Norman Touche. He's fun. He's supposed to be this famous, world-renowned detective, but he's not actually. He's just a little guy. I love his banana dog, Pudding. Such a cute name. It's the best design I've seen for any dog in media in the world. I mean, just look at this thing. It's so cute. We have a lot of returning people, but some newcomers too, like Will and Dr. Mad, Nana Amelia, who handles all the Funghi gachapon, the Prime Minister, this evil owl teacher, gnomes, mecha fungi, and more. We have even more environments added to the map, like the Enchanted Forest and Garden, the school, the park is back, but it's way different. The haunted house is now the Prime Minister's house. There's this important treetop area that's set up for the last case, and there's a little candy shop run by Nana Amelia where you can get fungi gachapons, as mentioned before. During cases, not only can you add things to your touch list when you explore, but you can also get fungi coins that come in handy at Nana Amelia's. The story in this one, just like the last game, builds over 5 cases, count it, 5, and the finale is pretty satisfying. It's fun, and it feels very big. Everything comes to a close in a good way. A lot of shit goes down once again, and you know what, I might as well just highlight the finale to showcase this game. Everyone in town has fallen asleep and can't wake up. This happens during the town Star Festival, where you write your hopes and dreams on wish paper. The only people unaffected are Mackenzie, Inspector Daria, Norman, and Nana Amelia. So how are they not affected? They didn't write their wishes down! The Cornstalker sends Mackenzie one of his iconic warning letters saying he's going to steal everyone's hopes and dreams, and I don't know why, but something about this just hits emotionally when everyone is literally asleep. Like, it's fucked up, Cornstalker. Oh my god, it's so fucked up. From everyone's written wishes, the Cornstalker has the ability to steal their hopes and dreams by teaming up with the evil Dr. Mad. Why is he so evil, though? He wants people to suffer because he himself suffered through not having his dreams come true, so he figures he should just pull the plug on people's dreams too for the sake of their well-being. That would be convenient for no one, so as they're about to steal everyone's dreams from the power of this crystal ball that Mackenzie destroys, the hopes and dreams of the world are saved, and everything goes back to normal. I enjoyed this game overall. Oops, what did I just do? It's definitely an improvement over the first game, but I don't think it reaches the same heights as Touch Detective 2.5, but it's still a great game. The cases have a lot of range, like dealing with stolen bananas, a mecha fungi terrorizing gnomes, a clone of Penelope that's studious, and Cromwell having a retirement moment thinking he's not good enough to be a butler and inventor anymore, but he's wrong. You also get to be in a car racer race. The music has different arrangements of the original songs, which are nice, and the art still looks amazing. I like this game. It was even more Touch Detective with a climactic ending, but these games could have gone on forever, and I wouldn't have complained unless they started sucking ass. There's a lot to explore in the series. I haven't touched on everything, which is crazy but true. At the end of every game, there's a bonus episode where you can explore the town and help people with little quests. It's a fun added bonus, and with the Switch collection, there's an encyclopedia that covers all the concept art and other artwork used in the game. It's right up my alley, the art with the fashion, stylization, character design, and really nice shading. I love the art, and I love this encyclopedia that shows all the concept art. It's just so cool. In the first Touch Detective, there's this series of Funghi cases called Funghi Breaks Out, and that's just an added little thing too. There's a lot of stuff. Touch Detective is a delight. It's unique, weird, funny, and endearing with all of its charm. I think more people should definitely check it out on the Switch and give it a shot because it's just so good, and I'm shocked and appalled, frankly, that more people don't know about it. So thank you, Siva Gunner Rips and the internet for pushing this series onto me. Thank you for learning about Touch Detective and watching my video. I'll see you next time. Bye bye, guys. I'm gonna give a really good quick hint right now. I'm thinking for my next video that I rank all the Harvest Moon Bachelors. So I really hope that you guys look forward to that. I'm giving a little sneak peek. I keep saying I'm gonna do a video and then I don't do it. Like I was like, oh, I have an idea for a new video, and it was Ace Attorney, and that it will exist one day, but not today. Okay, I needed to finish the trilogy first. I'm really close to finishing it, so maybe after I'll do it, but next video I'm thinking of ranking the Bachelors and Harvest Moon, all of them, okay? So be there, guys, be there.